Welcome to Market Makers, everybody. You're home for tomorrow's TA today. Bullvember is coming, and I foresee 140K to 150K on Bitcoin. And that's not a guess. I'm going to show you in the charts. Remember, on this channel, I effort to do something different than what's in a YouTube TA space. The YouTube TA space is essentially a news service. They tell you when the market fell, when the market rallied. They say, oh, Trump tweeted this, China did this event's happening. They're just giving you updates on what's already happening. I'm telling you what I think is going to happen. And we do that with patterns, with cycles, and with market mathematics, i.e. Fibonacci. So please do like and subscribe to the channel. It helps my little channel out. If you guys want to join us on our Discord or get all my videos that I put out throughout the week and the staff puts out, click the join button right there on YouTube. Get our altcoin videos, get all our different videos that we do. You can watch it all on YouTube and check out Bitunix if you want to trade these markets. It helps support the channel. Be a Market Makers VIP. That link is in the video description. I would greatly appreciate it. So where are we at right now? I covered this in the markets video. Be sure to check that out as well. But we hit extreme fear last week, and the market and the thumbnails in the crypto space are showing it. The ex-influencers, I'm out of crypto, they're going to miss a face-ripping rally that's going to happen. When you look at total, you have to understand what's happening in the market cycle. Total lost $1 trillion on that crypto wipeout this Friday past. That was the largest liquidation in crypto market history, $1 trillion. And then what happened? You recovered with a nice W fractal pattern. There's your sell-off, reflexive rebound, holding the higher low, and now you could potentially have some volatility in here as well. We're going to look at the charts and see that how this is affecting the markets. We look at our big cycle chart on Bitcoin, guys. We have time to make the new all-time highs. I drew the cycle chart up here to 150K. That's where I believe we're going. I'm going to show you when we drill into the daily how we get to 150K. We look at our RMA, we know that every time it's crossed the previous cycle high, the top has been in within a month, okay? We're not at the previous cycle high of 69K. We still have 6,500, 7,000 points to go to cross it. Bitcoin could be topping sometime in December is what you could see. It all depends how quickly we move up. We're already at 111K. Just understand the mathematics in crypto. The largest liquidation event in crypto market history, and you're at 111K a week later. This is a super bullish market. People are exiting too soon from Bitcoin, and they're going to miss out on massive gains in the marketplace. So let's go ahead and look at what we got here. This is our lunar cycle chart, and a lot of people have come to like this chart. I remember when I first started showing it, people were giving me shit about it. But when you look at the pivots in the market, look how closely they line up. As a matter of fact, the exact all-time high was on the lunar cycle for the full moon, and then the sell-off. And guess what? Today's the new moon. Bitcoin is rallying up. You see these pivots play out sometimes the same day, sometimes the next day. You get the sell-off. You see the pivots play out on the eclipse. You get the rally. So these are basically looking for turns in the marketplace, okay? So it's not necessarily you expect something to happen the day of, but you start looking for a turn. If you're in a steep sell-off, look for a bottom to form and then a reflexive rebound. If you're in a big rally, look for potential top to form, right? So this is what you do with these lunar cycles, natural cycles in the marketplace, and you can see how awesomely they have tracked. Let's look at Bitcoin on the daily. Bitcoin on the daily, this is why I'm super bullish on this. Big liquidation again, right? You had the big liquidation depending on your exchange. This hit different levels. Here on Bitunix, you got down to like 102. On some of the other exchanges, it went to the high 90s. But the key thing here is you're right back in your Wyckoff trading range. There's your fractal low of 107. You're sitting here at 111,266, right? So you have right back in this range. And here's your all-time high of 126. Now, when you look at how Bitcoin can recover, and keep in mind, this ties to markets. People in crypto space don't like to talk about markets, but earnings are coming up for the overbought 8. And if the earnings are good, so far they've been good. With Powell cutting, guys, I think November, December, hugely bullish across the markets, and that's going to be in crypto too. So when you're looking at this, what I would like to see happen is a nice W recovery fractal, right? This is your low, your rebound, higher low, and come back up. You could end up doing this with some, you can see it over here. I showed you guys this last week as well. There's your W pattern with the higher low, new all-time high, right? Very, very clean. Now, because this wick is different on different exchanges, what I would like to see happen is some type of recovery. If we don't use that wick, right? Let's just say we don't use that wick. But if we come down to our current low, that 103, get something like this, maybe some type of recovery like this format, and you start seeing Bitcoin make higher lows, right? That's the key here on the daily time frame. Hold your higher lows, get higher lows, get some volatility, come up, chop back down, bears will get excited, come back up, but overall get these higher lows. The magic will happen in Bitcoin once we see a break above 116. Get above 116 and put you back in this upper echelon here of price action, right? All these candle tops up here, the candle tops up here, get a break, hold 116 for support, get up in this area. Once you break out above your all-time high, which I believe can easily happen in November, you're going to see a run up. And then it's going to matter, where's that run up going to? Now, from our larger patterns we've been talking about all year, we had 132, you had 150, you had 168. With the new pattern that's formed with the sell-off, you can see this, right? If we use the wick on this exchange here, new pattern sell-off, you have 140 and 150, right? This is my exact prediction of where Bitcoin's going. When you look at this, being that it's Bitcoin, I mean, depending on the rally strength, you could see this get past it and go to our 168 target, right? But it's all going to depend. You're building a coil. You have an energy building coil happening right now in the marketplace. This is going to be a down thrust, and oftentimes after a down thrust, you get a Wyckoff spring to the upside, okay? So this is a very bullish pattern. Again, when you marry everything together, largest liquidation in crypto history. When you marry that together with what the markets did, massive sell-off, but massive to the tune of 3%. Top 10, top 15 systematic sell-offs, automated sell-offs in stock market history over the last decade, and the market only fell 3% in SPX cash. Bitcoin went down below, I guess, 100K on some exchanges, but held 100K on most of them, and you're right back at 111. The same trading range you have been in all summer. Very bullish, bottom of the range. You're going to get volatility down here. Powell's at the end of the month, cutting rates. Overbought 8's earnings are coming here this week, next week. You're going to see this start to accumulate and look to move higher for the rally, guys. Let's just look at some indicators here. Look at our indicators. The canary got overbought or oversold. It's bouncing back up. Volume, this is going to depend on the exchange. Crypto exchanges are centralized, but you're seeing the volume confirm the bounce. Momentum is starting to curl back up. You're seeing that bottom form, and we're going to see some other patterns develop here on the daily, the 8-hour, 4-hour. You'll start getting some more patterns here on Bitcoin. Ultimately, you need to flip that fractal of 116, get above it, and then look for Bitcoin to start moving up with momentum, okay? 140, 150K. We look at this on the 1 hour. If you really want to zoom in, there's your sell-off at the 103 low. You can see you got your consolidation right at that previous fractal low of 107. You broke out. Here's your Livermore pivot, 1 hour time frame. Retested it, broke back out. Take out that fractal, you move up, and now you got a little baby double top forming. This is typical Bitcoin price action on a small time frame. What I care about is a larger time frame, and we'll see if we end up coming up to this level, maybe that 115, 116 level right here, get some type of pullback, base, and then take off. This will give us a larger W pattern just like this, and then once we break that 123, boom, guys, this thing's going up, right? Just watch the end of the year. Everybody's so bearish. Even these guys that were very bullish. So many people, that's what the whole point of the fear and greed is. You see it reflected in the thumbnails. You see it and reflect it in people's behaviors. All they hear about on the media is how horrible everything is, how bad credit is, how bad the deficit is, how bad debt is. But they're missing the point of understanding cycles because there's more bull run to come, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and look at this on the, let's look at some other things here. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum's already forming very nicely. W reversal fractal. Look at this nice fractal that you're holding right here. This can come up, and I'm going to give you some Ethereum numbers too. But when we look at this, you got the nice higher low between 2 and 4 here. The key fractal to take out is going to be right there, 4,300. You're at 4,040, and you're just basically retesting this base, right? So if you're really bearish, you're going to say, well, it's going to turn back around and come down. Could. I don't think that's what's going to happen. But when you look at your lows, you need to hold 3675, and you certainly need to hold the low of 3400. If it doesn't come up instantly like this and start moving up to take out this level, you want to look at the consolidations. You want to look at how price forms ranges, because you could easily be forming some type of triangle or something here and some type of accumulation range. Okay, so you want to watch how price moves. If it continues to make higher lows, this is very bullish. Okay, so you have your wave, you have your sell-off, reflexive rebound, higher low. If it comes up to some level, maybe fails at that 4,300, comes back down, does it once again hold a higher low? And it's going to start tightening the range. And this is how you get triangles. This is how you get breaks out, volatility, compression patterns. This is how you see price move in the marketplace. So for right now, key level to flip, 4,064, and above that is 4,300. The key levels to hold in Ethereum, your fractal low right here, 3675, and you absolutely need to hold that low of 3400. And as you can see, you're just ping-ponging right now. You got to build up momentum, right? It's like pulling back a slingshot and letting it go. Now, if we want to see where Ethereum can go, let's do it this way. Pull down Ethereum, come back up here, 5,500, 6,000. That's the two targets. 6,000 makes a lot of sense. Big, fat, juicy number. I could totally see that. You got to see this momentum build, and you got to start making some progress, okay? We'll be doing these videos, be covering these in our updates for members as well, so consider checking that out if you want. But let's go ahead and look at some indicators here. Canary got oversold, came back up, higher low. You're crossing into the median line. You're in bullish territory. Momentum's turning up. Volume showing you there's volume. There's buying on Ethereum. Can't talk about Ethereum without looking at some of its proxies like BitMiner. BitMiner is putting in higher lows. Look at this. See, you get this compression pattern where BitMiner keeps failing right around 65. You can see it fails here, comes back, keeps putting in higher lows. Once you trigger 65 and definitely 71, want to look at the upside. Upside, $100, $133. Those would be my near-term targets in BitMiner, crossing 71. You want to hold key support levels here. Your fractal low, $39, you're at 54. You want to keep this moving, build this energy for the slingshot to the upside, crossing 71 with momentum. We look at our canary. You're in the bearish territory trying to turn up. You can see in volume, however, that it's turning up, right? You're getting some higher lows. There's your low, higher low, retesting that low on volume. So you want to see progress continue. Momentum's flat. But again, when the markets rally, you're going to see these proxies in crypto rally as well. Here's SBET, SharpLink Gaming. This was a request off of X. This doesn't have the same bullish formation as BitMiner. You came down, you basically tested this fractal here at 1425. I mean, everything here is still flat, okay? You want to start seeing momentum like you've seen BitMiner. Look at the difference in the chart. There's your low, basically 1425, and then you hit it again, okay? So you want to start seeing an accumulation of a low, come up, get a higher low, get a higher low, and you really want to start seeing the taking out of some of these fractal highs here in the range. 1954 is a key one. You're at 1544. Cross that, and you can come back and back test it for support, something like this. Get your basing process, and then you can look for a breakout, take out that fractal high, and then you're looking at 2826, that's the important level to cross. Once you get up above that, you'll have some higher level targets, okay? So if we look at this from this perspective, this sell-off down to this low, you're looking at 27, 30, 35 would be the near-term targets. Right now, you're at 1425, but I don't have any type of bullish pattern here on a daily time frame. What you have is an oscillation pattern of highs and lows, retesting the lows. Want to see some momentum pick up here in SharpLink, okay? Let's look at Solana. Solana, again, has the makings of a W reversal, right? There's your W. This could roll back over and test this low again. So this may end up being some type of triangle type accumulation pattern like this. So you want to watch and see how these patterns form on Solana and all these key altcoins, but just be aware, look at your lows here, right? Key fractal low 174, you're at 192, and you definitely want to stay above 160. So you're going to see volatility, and this could end up being some type of coil. Sell off, right? You come up, you make a high, make a higher low, do something like this, get a compression pattern like you're seeing in BitMiner, and it's going to be all about watching this fractal high right there at 211. Take out that level, come up, and then you're going to see much higher highs in Solana. Obviously, you'll see confluence with the markets. You'll see confluence with Bitcoin as well. And if we just do this pull down, near-term targets, if we take out these levels, right, that 618 lines up beautifully right there at that 211. But you're looking at 286, 315, call it 300 bucks in Solana. That would be my target for this rally into November, December, would be $300 Solana, okay? You're at 192. Big increase in Solana. Looking at a nice gain. So this is something I would be paying attention to. Watch that low, stay above 174, definitely stay above 160. Watch how you coil in here. See if you just start banging your head, making a series of higher lows, get some compression, some volatility compression, because that's how you're going to get a breakout with energy, with force, with earnings coming up, and with PAL cutting rates. If we look at XRP, XRP had that massive liquidation wick. The first thing XRP needs to do is get back in this previous trading range above 272, right? You had all these candles here back from July. You need to come back into that trading range. If we just look at this XRP, go down to this level. I mean, this was a deep drop here. Again, this is going to vary exchange to exchange, but you have your 1618 at $4.23, up to $5 on the 200%. And if you don't want to use that wick, depending on your exchange, you can go to that current retracement low right there, 366, $4. Really the first step, because you're going to have other patterns form, right? Once XRP, if it can curl like this, it's got an energy curl going. If we can start doing this and come up, we'll be able to get some fibs from some new patterns that form. But you got to cross 272, and you got a lot of resistance up here in that $3 range, 312, 330. So you need to get back in there above 272, below 330, get back in that pre-existing trading range. So we got on XRP, got oversold, got a nice double bottom. You got volume showing here as well. Volume, you know, you got an absorption line. Need some momentum. Momentum starting to curl back up, but you don't have it yet. You can see it in the price action. Let's go ahead and do one more. Look at ADA. Big liquidation wick. First thing you got to do is flip 68 cents. Really, you want to get back above 78 cents because that's where this coil was happening before the breakdown, right? You had your lower highs, high, lower high, lower high, low, lower low, liquidation breakdown. So you're building a reversal pattern to get back up. You have to get this coil to work, get some energy built up, get some higher lows, and ultimately you need to take out that high right here of 73 cents. Once you cross that high, you'll have some upward momentum, get back in that 80 cent to 95 cent range. We'll have some new patterns that form, be able to get some new targets on ADA. That's your first step to do. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you on the Discord. Check out my YouTube. Follow me on X at Market Canary, and I'll see you on the next update. Bullvember is coming. Take care, everybody.